You know what is so funny? I was watching YouTube all day yesterday.
Yeah.
The video said, "Yikes! Why did it do that?" And I thought, that's who I ought to be working with.
Clearly, my mama thinks I am incapable of making mistakes, and I think mama is a little bit biased. From Spindle Mountain Mercantile, I am Heather. Welcome to our YouTube channel. For project number 1, I am working on our coffee station. This is what the whole thing looks like. That's a bookcase that I turned upside down and painted and added some extra stuff. I even made those drawers, but it's kind of messy, but that's a different project. I'll work on that another day. I'm concentrating just on this part right here for now. So I made this little cabinet. It looks kind of like a bench that you would just put on top of your counter. I used pieces of scrap wood for this. I don't know what colors of stain I used or even what brands they were, but right here you can see where this little piece is curved. That was a piece that we cut off a cutting board. That's where the handle was cut from. So the two sides that were on either side of the handle match. I just nailed them to another board that was already stained. And I also use those little pin nails to put that in there. The top is from another project. Listen, I want this to look like some grandpa made this 75 years ago for his sweet wife, Bessie. So I'm totally okay that all of the stains don't match. I don't even know what brands they were or what color they are. All I know is this looks like something Grandpa put together with scraps of wood from his workshop. If y'all want all the stains to match, then by all means, use one stain. And the back piece there, that's just to hold it sturdy. That is a white piece of trim or something. I don't even know what it's from. I screwed that in. And now it's very sturdy. The coolest thing I did with this, and I thought of this all by myself, was I made the top right there stick out a little bit. That's because I need a place for the cords to go. I wanted to hide the outlet and all the messy cords. All right, I am using Iron Orchid Designs' new 2026 summer release transfer called the Belgravia. It has all kinds of teacups, and I like to use teacups for my coffee sometimes, so I thought it was appropriate. Plus, I'm also going to use these for tea. This black container is a bread box I got in the $5 section at Target, and this was like 4 years ago. I probably got 2 of these, one's white and one's black. Now, this is the back. The other side says bread, and I didn't want to paint this because I didn't want the paint to scratch off. So I'm just putting this on the back. It's going to be up there on the top of the cabinet eventually in that bookcase. So I really didn't care if you could see the front or not. It looks the same either way. And I started by putting one teacup right in the middle, the biggest one. And before I did this, I washed it with an alcohol-soaked cotton pad. It was like 91% alcohol. And right there I'm burnishing. Don't forget to burnish your transfers. And here's how I added the other elements. And this turned out so cute. Now I'm going to show you what this one looked like right now, but stay tuned because project number 1 has 3 parts. This is just how the first part turned out. Part 2 of project number 1 is another bread box I found at Target. It's a white one, and I'm cleaning it with a soaked alcohol paper towel. Just, the rubbing kind of alcohol. And I'm using these acrylic painters that I found on Amazon. I will leave a link for these. Anything you buy from Amazon by using my link to get there, they will give me a small compensation, but won't raise your price. People say I'm really good at lettering, and they think that's because I was good in school. Au contraire, mon frere. It's because all I did was sit in school and write out the boy of the month's name with mine next to it, or Mr. and Mrs. Paul White, or whatever, whoever my crush was that month. And I got pretty good at writing. I have found that the best way to give somebody wants, not that kind of body, to give it more depth on the lettering, I just write my letters whichever I want, whether it's in cursive or Danielian style or just plain printing. And then I add lines on either side, and I fill in those lines. That's usually how I do it. And I did the same thing. Now, this little black thing on there, that's one of those stickers from Dollar Tree that's supposed to be like a blackboard. I probably should have gotten a new one, but y'all, things are tight around here and we are trying to save money, so I just reused it. It looks like an old chalkboard that's been used in a lot of school classes. So you can just watch the rest of this and I'll meet you here when I get to the next step. I'm using smaller versions of the same teacups from the Belgravia collection, and I realized right away I don't want to happen on this what happened on my pretty plate wreath that I made. It's gorgeous, but if you look closely underneath some of the plates, it's quite obvious that they are see-through, and I wanted to try to avoid that in different areas of my coffee pod container. Now, where I'm putting this teacup, I didn't think it mattered because it's abrupt and it's right there where the bottom of the teacup is. So I thought that differentiation between the white and the black underneath it. And y'all, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. My chickens have decided they are laying their eggs on our porch, which is right here. The window's right there next to me. Rhodey is out there, our big old mean rooster, and he's telling them what for. These girls don't care if I want to be a big YouTube star, and neither does Rhodey. So I guess I'm sorry, not sorry, because everybody seems to like chickens these days. Now that top left edge right there, that's how I decided to cut this in the first place, because it was already a little bit loose. But this one, you could really tell the difference when I laid it down against that black sticker. So I took out quite a big chunk of this and I just kept cutting kind of in smaller pieces until I got the shape I wanted. I was afraid that if I drew a line, the line would still be a little off because it's not like I can outline right around that plate. But I cut off a good chunk and I think it turned out good. You cannot see it so much underneath this plate. After I added a few more details, I went back and cleaned up my lettering with some more of the pen and a cotton tip I dipped in alcohol and decided it needed even more flowers. And then I was done. And this is how part 2 of project number 1 turned out. For part 3 of project number 1, I'm simply going to show you how I set everything up in my kitchen. So here's my idea. I'm just keeping this one here for now. It's actually going to go up on one of these shelves later after when I work on this, and I'll show you that at a different time. And instead of using this, which my sweet husband brought back from a deployment, and I really like it, it doesn't match the aesthetic I'm going for over here. I'm going to use this dish that was in my stash and a pretty little spoon. And this is something we got at one of those little roadside tourist attractions where they sell everything. I remember when we got this, it was the early 70s. And I believe we were going to Hershey, Pennsylvania from Missouri. We might have even been driving from Idaho all the way across the country with our huge Dodge pickup that had 4 doors and our little trailer that was chock full of antique clothes Mama sold. We had a CB. Mama's handle was Cinderella in the big orange pumpkin because our truck was orange. I just keep my toothpicks in here and my little coconut drops for when I don't have coconut coffee. This is a cup from when we were from our shattered dream. We were going to live on a boat and sell the Great Loop. If you haven't heard of the Great Loop, you should look it up. It's pretty amazing. We sold almost all of our belongings 6 days after this when we moved onto the boat. we found out my sweet husband had heart disease and we would not be able to make the trip. So we did live on the boat in the marina. And you know what? It was a godsend that we found out when we did, because we were moored just south of Houston, and Houston's like the heart care mecca of the world. Well, I just kind of went on and on about that when I was filming, but I was getting way off track. So I'll tell you more about that later. For now, I finished this off by putting my pretty little Franciscan mug my friend Jerry gifted me into our Keurig. And here is what our setup looks like for now. We recorded project number 2 several weeks ago, and this is the first time Mama ever used old-fashioned milk paint. This is Summer Cottage, and you guys, this color is so much more vibrant in person than it is while I'm editing. So if you decide to buy paint online, make sure you get exactly the color you want. Old-fashioned milk paints are available on our website at spindlemountainmercantile.com. Oh yeah, wow. Isn't that fun paint? I like it.
You know what I saw that I liked?
What's that?
Was birdhouse was on a block like this.
Mm-hmm.
With flowers around it.
Oh, I like that. Well, you can paint that and we'll have Kelly attach them. My mama gave these boards 2 coats of old-fashioned milk paint, letting the first one dry before she added the second. Before that second coat dried, Mama got out the heat gun. It's supposed to crackle, Mama.
Oh. Crackle, darn it.
I could see some.
Oh, look at that. Is that what milk paint's supposed to do?
Yep. You're burning it right there. But that's okay. These bigger pieces, we'll sand it after it's real dry. And some of those big pieces will just chunk off. After Mama left, I got out my Harbor Freight 220 grit sandpaper and just kind of knocked down some of those big places where there were bubbles. Other places where there was some crackle, I just went over it lightly to kind of enhance that. And then there were some places where the crackle already looked spectacular, and I left those areas alone. Old-fashioned milk paint is owned by the same company that makes Sweet Pickens milk paint, and some of their finishing products are used by both companies. So I am using Sweet Pickens dark oil wax. I just poured some on and then I brushed it around, and after I let it sit for maybe 4 or 5 minutes, I wiped it back with a towel. I asked Mama, do you think the people will ever get tired of you using Fern Fables? And she said, not if they have good taste. So here we go. Again.
Well, I love the grid lines on this because you can always put your transfer down perfectly even around the edges because you know where you are.
We sealed this with Debbie's Design Diary top coat called Big Top. You can find Debbie's full line of products and the entire line of Iron Orchid designs on our website.
Heather had to move the camera around because she forgets that my left arm is there just for balance and for looks. It's useless. I can hold something up with it, but that's as far as it goes. Steve sent me a note and a picture of a seismic thing on the computer. They had a big earthquake. He said it didn't do any major damage, but dishes did fall off the shelves and break. I said, I hope it didn't arouse the volcano gods.
I hope it didn't arouse the volcano he chose to live on.
Boy, am I good.
You are good, Mama.
Here's a single cup of coffee. I get to film you two fighting over it.
Thank you very much, son.
Thank you, Zach.
I forgot. Grammy likes a little flavor.
These fiddle ferns in Hawaii are enormous, like big as my head.
And taller than your body.
There's a little indentation here, and this right here will not.
Did you trim your fingernail?
Yes.
Oh.
Everything else worked.
You know what? Put a flower in front of it. Tell them that's how you fix something that won't lay down. You put a flower in front of it. I'm just going to speed this next part up so you don't have to watch every little bit over and over again as Mama does the transfers, but you can see how she did the layering. Also, take note that she kept putting that little birdhouse up on the other board so she could see exactly where her transfers would be with both of those coordinating. My sweet husband glued the two pieces together with Gorilla brand wood glue, and he used a couple of pins to keep it in place while that dried. I love this so much, and the very best part is the smirk on that little bluebird's face. I'm not even going to tell you about the transfer for project number 3 because I think you will pick up what I am laying down. I forgot to take a picture of this octagonal box before Mama and I painted it. Right here, I'm just showing you how I cut out some of the trim from Fern Fables. This is the very first page, and it's just so cute, y'all. I'll let Mama tell you more about it as she works on this project.
I was fortunate to find this on sale. I probably wouldn't have paid full price for it, but I hope it suits somebody's fancy.
How much was it? It was half price of what?
Half price, and it was, I don't know, it was like $8.
I set these down on the bottom because it was easier to figure out how they would lay down inside the box than it was with those big tall sides.
I'm using Cottage colors. It's a 3-in-1. It seals and it primes and seals all together. For my background, the color is Plaster. And I have a really neat IOD transfer to go on this. I think it's going to be spectacular.
I love how transfers go on this paint.
I love how this paint goes on.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Mama is using Juniper on the interior of those big tall sides.
I don't know that I can see. I went up on the edge there. I can't stay off that.
Okay,
Should I wait till this is dry and tape it off, or you want to do it?
I'll do it. I can do the inside and you can do the rest.
We're staining this with Debbie's Design Diary Liquid Patina, dark and decrepit. Heather just used a wet brush and swift it back and forth. I had asked her to trim these pieces because I wanted to fit them around the shape of this interior of this box. And she's done a good job. This one needs to be overlapped a little bit. So I'm going to cut it.
I kid you not, I just edited out like 45 minutes of Mama and me trying to figure out how these go down so that they are overlapping the correct way to show the pretty flowers instead of the ugly stems.
The longest journey begins with one single step. Can I quit now? Viola. Now, in trimming this, she had to trim it to fit this box, and this end is not pretty, but this end is pretty, so we're going to put it on top of that.
And once again, I'm going to speed things up so you can see the entire process of Mama layering the edges of these borders. As Mama was working on the box, her design idea kind of evolved. So she was originally going to put both of the moths from that front page in here, but she changed her mind, and I think what she came out with was brilliant.
Ah, look at this. This is Viola. I did this all by myself.
Tell them why you just did that.
I had a little girl who used to do that all the time to me.
When she was telling the truth?
When she was not telling the truth.
Y'all, I totally remember doing that. And I also remember when Mama told me that's how she knew when I wasn't being truthful. I totally remember when Mama told me that that's how she knew I was not being completely truthful. And that's when I decided in life it was better to be honest. I mean, unless, it's like a surprise party or a Christmas present, or if someone asks me if these jeans make my butt look fat. There are times, but usually honesty is the best policy. You probably figured out by now that Mama wanted florals in this, so after she left, I went ahead and did that for her. And right now I am cutting out a piece of foam from, I believe I bought this from Walmart. It's just a big chunk of floral foam. And I'm cutting it with the plastic on it because I think it's going to maintain its shape better if I do it this way rather than taking out of the plastic first. As I'm editing and I see I'm wearing my pajamas in the middle of the day all last weekend while I was DIYing, I remembered I wanted to make a little video for y'all to put in this one. So anyway, here we go. Hey y'all, I just wanted to take a break in the editing. And I know it's kind of a weird place to stop and take a break to tell you what I'm going to say, but I didn't want to start off this video with something really sad for the new people to see. And I wanted it to be kind of tucked in a place where nobody expected it, because I know that my regular viewers and those people who are invested in my channel will see it. So I am I'm grateful to each of you who reached out to me when we lost Tillie Bell last week. It's been really hard. I mean, we know that it was right. She had carcinoma riddling the inside of her body, and it was devastating. When we saw what she looked like after they did a procedure on her that we knew wasn't life-saving. I wanted to reply to each of your comments, but I just couldn't. It was so hard. But I had to let you know. I don't know. I think he smells something over there. What are you doing? Are you so goofy? Yeah. He's so cute, too. He's the sweetest boy. You're the sweetest boy. Each of your comments meant a lot to me. They were a salve to my broken heart, and I appreciate them. I wish I could have written back. I couldn't bring myself to do it. It's been a rough week. Working and DIYing with my mama has been very helpful, but your prayers and your comments were as well. So thank you for that. You are very much appreciated and loved, and I mean it when I say that. Thank you.
Hi, Tillie Bell. You're so pretty. The itches? Yeah, you got to get scratched, don't you? Oh, that's the best way to make a hug. Good girl. Your eyes up.
Carrying on. Okay, I'm using copious amounts of hot glue with this floral foam to get it to stay in there. And before you do this, you want to make sure your foam and glue are compatible. If not, your glue will disintegrate your foam. I'm going to speed up this next part so you can see the process of how I put these flowers in the box. They are 100% from a vintage grapevine wreath Mama found at the thrift store. I even use the leaves from them instead of moss to cover up the foam at the end. If we were going to change anything about the way we did this, it probably would have been not putting so much of the transfer down because it was covered up with florals. But it's really totally okay because Mama has already opened her third package of Fern Fables. Our last project today is this fantastic lamp I found at Goodwill. Now, I don't shop a lot at Goodwill, but a couple of their prices that have not gone up too much is lampshades and picture frames. So I do still shop there for those. So imagine my delight when I found this for $15. It did not have those globes. I found those in my stash. Now, this is a lampshade I found to fit on it, and that's just water on it that I got from when I cleaned the flowers from the project earlier, but you can see it's a little bit low. So I tried a smaller lampshade and it didn't look right. My decision was to change out the harp. I had a harp that was taller from another light. It's that one that I painted with, I think, Apothecary, and I put the black those labels on it. Oh, what are they called? Traditional pot labels from IOD that is in a lot of my videos. It's that one. And it was too tall for that. So I just switched them out, and I think this looks perfect now. Just the right height. So to fix the wood, it didn't need a lot. I didn't want to do a lot to this. I did, of course, think about painting it and putting transfers on it, but these are about $100 on eBay plus shipping, so I decided best not to do that. I gave it a real good cleaning with a damp towel, and I let that dry, and then I went back over it with Dark and Decrepit. And this is something I learned from one of my viewers who bought Dark and Decrepit and put it on a little rocking chair that she had from when she was a little girl, and she gave it to her grandchild. And it works great, you guys. It made this look so good. I just put it everywhere, and then I wiped it back with a clean, soft towel. Was a little too brassy for my taste, so I tried to tone it down with Rub and Buff and Dark and Decrepit, and neither one stuck. So I just cleaned it real good. And after looking at eBay, I think that's the way people want them. They are pretty rare. So after adding some $10 candlelight light bulbs, we are asking $79 for it in our booth. So did y'all have a favorite? I think mine was probably the kitchen stuff, but that's because I get to look at it all the time and enjoy it. And I love making things that are turning our house into a home that reflects our style. I also adore all of the things Mama made. I know we use Fern Fables a lot, but I'm not kidding. Everything Mama has made with Fern Fables has turned out so stinking cute. And that lamp, I couldn't believe it when I saw that. You know, I have banned shopping because I have so much stash. I just can't get any more thrift store stuff. So I just go there for necessities. But when I saw that lamp, I could not pass it by. When I came home and looked it up on Google Lens, I was shocked at how much they are going for. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and we would love to have you join our channel as a viewer. We have fantastic followers here, and we'd love for you to be one of them. All of the products we use today from IOD, DIY, and Old Fashioned Milk Paint are available on our website at spindlemountainmercantile.com. We hope until you see us again next time, you have a wonderful week. And as always, we hope you are blessed. Bye.